Hey, Time Slicers, welcome to Slice Squad Spills. I'm your host, Nikki Wildflower. I went from a basement apartment to a multiple seven-figure empire. Now I'm here to share how you can do it too. Hello, welcome to the Slice Squad Spills podcast. This is Nikki. I'm here with my co-host and sister, Jackie, and today we are going to be talking about consistency. Don't run for the hills. Don't run for the hills. No, it's not really like that. It's like this. So everyone's like, I don't know how you like, first of all, I work from home mostly and I work for myself. So like really there's nobody in charge of me. And people are always like, well, how do you like just keep showing up every single day? Like what about days where you don't feel like it or you're not motivated? And today that's what we're going to be talking about. Jackie, do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, the title of today's episode, the official one, how to be consistent when you don't feel like it.
Exactly. So it's how to be consistent when you don't feel like it. And I'm just going to be really kind of like, this is my personal opinion. Okay. So don't necessarily just like take this and run with it, but I don't feel like it 80% of the time.
So I was about to chime in for a second and say like ours might vary slightly. And I thought you were going to be like, I feel like it most of the time. And when I don't, whatever. But so you don't feel like it 80% of the time.
It really depends like what kind of mood I'm in because there's seasons, you know what I mean? Like there are times where I feel really fired up about like work and social media and like the company and the business and like just everything surrounding that. And now's not one of them. I'm going to be like really straight up. Like it's just not. And what I've really learned through the years of this is that you're not always going to feel like it. And because you're not always going to feel motivated, you have to be disciplined. Most of your success is going to fall into like what you do in your day-to-day routine. So I just do shit even when I don't feel like it. It doesn't like you don't have to feel good to like do the things. That's the thing.
Look at it like this too. And I got this actually from Adas, who I think got it from someone else. But she says all the time, like discipline, that word can like land in a shitty way for a lot of people. Discipline is a form of self-love. It literally is a form of self-love. And I think we both did this recently too, like even discipline and consistency in things that are like self-care. You know, I have a vocal coach and Nikki has like a tennis coach and these are things that we just do. And it's been stressful, like honestly. And I haven't really, 80% of the time lately, I haven't been feeling motivated for anything. And even not canceling that lesson for me this week, because I canceled it last week from overwhelm, I'm like, that was consistency and that's discipline in a sense in a fun activity. And I had a great time once I was there doing it, but I like the perspective of it's the highest form of self-love actually.
And just like really at the end of the day, you just don't have to feel like it to still show up for yourself, but also just like set yourself up for success to begin with, knowing that you're going to have shitty days. Like I'm going to be honest with you. I am working today from 5 o'clock in the morning till 7 p.m. at night, straight through. I'm not saying that to be like, woe is me. I chose this life for myself and it comes with sacrifices. I do not feel like doing this today. I don't really know what I feel like. I want to be on a beach with margaritas, if anything. It's like raining outside. I feel a little bit like I've not really felt like myself. My stomach has been hurting. Like, you know, we went to the Hormozis headquarters last week and like my stomach was just killing me the entire time. And I think it's from stress. But last night I got to do breath work with my breath work coach and she said it was my solar plexus.
Oh.
The part of me that doesn't feel like I'm enough or that I didn't do enough.
That makes sense. I'm a little woo-woo inside. So yeah, I would agree.
And I was like, yeah, but then after I did the breath work, my solar plexus didn't hurt anymore. And now it hurts again right now.
What today makes you feel like not enough?
Nothing is making me feel like not enough.
We don't have to go.
It's just, listen, like I have just really come to the point in this business journey and just in this life journey where I'm well aware of the fact that like there are going to be seasons that I don't feel like amazing. And I used to stress myself out about it. I would be like, law of attraction, baby. Like, it's not that I don't feel that there's like any validity to that, but like, I got to feel good all the time, or like something's not aligned, or I'm not doing something right. And what I've learned is that like that you are going to go through pain in life and bad days and possibly mental illness and suffering. And so right now I'm like, okay, well, I'm just like not in the best place mentally at the moment. It's a hard time. It's a hard time for myself. It's a hard time for me, like business wise. And that's okay. I'm gonna get through it. It's just a hard time. It's not, doesn't mean it's always gonna be this way. If I keep showing up every single day and doing it and refuse to quit, even when I feel like I want to throw my hands up in the air and be like, game over, baby. I felt this way before. I've gotten over it. I remained consistent and I'm gonna continue to do that and just wait out that feeling. Let myself feel it and wait it out.
Absolutely. And like, what can I learn? You know, if you're struggling with that perspective shift of like, I feel like a failure, not even just you, and this is me just speaking now outwardly, like I'm feeling like a failure because I am in one of those seasons where things are not looking good in my business and it feels like I'm failing. I'm trying and I'm failing. I'm going to keep showing up though, because I refuse to actually fail. What lesson could I possibly be learning? Like, how can I grow from this? Sometimes that lesson is like, I just need to be grateful. What, like, that's all, my excess is gratitude and that's all I've got. But that's a great lesson on its own. So.
You just reminded me how important gratitude is. Like, it really is, like, to just take a step back and be like, I'm grateful right now. And listen, like, this is my personality. I'm always going to find a way to stress out. Like, really, business is doing well. That's not even like, it's just literally like, I never feel like enough. I constantly feel this weight on myself. And like, that's a me thing, but it doesn't even matter. I think that our brain, it does matter, but I'm working on, I'm not going to talk to you guys about that. We'll talk to my therapist, but what I do want to talk about is that our brains are wired to like need the dopamine hit of seeing immediate satisfaction. So how then do you stay consistent when you're not seeing the benefits? How do you remain consistent when you aren't going to get that dopamine hit? You know, understanding like something's like for social media, you can't just post for like 4 days and then think something's going to happen from that. Or when you go to like ask for referrals, you can't just ask like 2 people and think that it's going to grow your business. It's like the numbers, the repetitiveness, the boringness, and the willingness to be rejected. Just that grit is huge. Like right now, I'm not seeing the benefit of this. So you might have to find little ways to reward yourself. Like, hey, if I post on social media for 5 days this week, maybe I'm going to buy myself like a Starby or something. I mean, I get
upgrade my pedicure to the spa, the lavender spa pedicure.
Yeah, find ways to like add dopamine to that.
There's also like this important piece of that I think, of course, like you always go to like the numbers and the logistics because that's so you. And I go to like the mindset because they're both true. Like both things are true and important. Going back to your why, when you started your business, there was probably a really big why behind that. I doubt that the one single reason that you started your business was, I want to get rich. Especially if you're in like a service industry, it's like you probably really care to make others feel good and like feel confident or like feel good in their body or, you know. So that's probably why you're in a service industry, not to get rich. You can get rich. That is true. But what is also true is very likely that you got into the industry that you're in as a business owner to find success and to help others, right? So like this balancing act. And both can be true. You can want to be rich. That doesn't make you a bad person, I just want to say. But on top of that, there's also probably a really deep why behind why wouldn't you just work at a space where they pay you like 30% commission? Like, why did you start a business? Dive deep there. When you're like, I don't want to do this today. Well, why did you start in the first place? And are you willing to give up on that dream? I want to take care of my family. I want to buy my parents a house. I want whatever it may, like, what are your big, deep internal human whys? Because if you can find those when you're feeling a lack of motivation or even tap into like one piece, like, oh, okay, right. This was the vision. It's not necessarily going to remotivate you in that day or in that moment, but starting fresh again tomorrow. Like today was a shitty day. I felt like a failure. I didn't completely give up. And tomorrow I'm going. I'm not quitting because my whys are important to me.
I tell myself that every day. And I think like bigger picture thinking is great. So like if you have a goal that you're working toward, set the goal and then work backwards from there, because otherwise you're just going to be like going at it with nothing in mind. And you're never going to even hit like a fraction of your potential. But if you start something with the goal in mind, you always have that to look back on and be like, and always ask yourself the question, like, is what I'm actually spending time on getting me closer to my goals? Now it's really awesome if you can find a way to have fun in the process. Like there are a lot of things that I do find really fun and rewarding about my job, and problem solving is not one of them.
I love problem solving.
I do not like the day to day of running a business. I don't like it at all.
Sure.
At all.
Yeah.
Like at all. It drains me. I don't like it. I want to create and inspire and teach, and that's it. But that's not the reality of this situation. And so when I look at my long-term goals, I'm like, what am I doing? Is what I'm doing today aligning with that? And it is. So I know that right now I'm just like, this is just what I fucking have to do. I find joy, but am I like jumping for joy in this moment? No. There was a point in time where like I could like kind of step away out of the business a little bit and kind of like refine some passions and stuff like that. And it was really nice. And like I totally found so much love again for running the businesses. And then, you know, recently I feel like I've really had to like step back in, and so have you, like full force. And it's really like it's trying. It feels like starting from scratch.
Mm-hmm. And it's what are we learning from this? What are our whys?
What are we learning from this? I'm like, listen, it's just a season, you know,
Yeah,
it's a season,
it
and it's okay. And how do I find joy during this season? And am I still going to continue to do the things? Yes.
100%.
Whether I wake up and I feel like shit or I wake up and feel good, I'm still going to do the things. I don't have to be excited and jumping up and down to show up for myself.
That's true. And I think another reset that we can all work on, I think, as a society, like going into gratitude again, not just like, I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for my house. Like, it doesn't have to be like that. But like, you know what? These are trying times right now. This is a trying, the season of my business is really tough, and I'm getting through it. And like that gratitude for your own self. And I'm still showing up. Like, recognize yourself for that, because that's a dopamine hit on its own. Yeah, and then maybe you throw in the coffee, the special coffee, or the upgrade on your pedicure, and there you've hit the dopamine without the exact outcome maybe that you were looking for in an immediate fashion, right? So gratitude for self and what you have accomplished in that day.
I think another important aspect of consistency is just creating strong habits. When something's a habit, it doesn't matter whether you feel like it or not. You're going to do it anyway. Do you decide every morning whether or not you want to brush your teeth? I hope not. I hope you just do it. Do I feel like posting on social media every day? Absolutely not, but it's a habit. So the way that we create habits is through consistency. And you're not going to do this big overhaul overnight. You're just not. You can't just today is the day where I'm going to be consistent. I'm going to go from posting 0 times a week to posting 5 times a week on social media. No, you're not. You're going to do it for 3 days and then stop. Start small and kind of work your way up. And guess what? Like literally another way to just stay consistent is never go into the next day without knowing what your day is going to look like from like hour to hour. People say all the time that feels really regimented, and it is and it's not. Like you will get a fraction of the amount done if you don't do that. Everything feels like a pile and it feels too overwhelming, so you don't action on anything. But a beautiful part of consistency is that when you break things down like that, they're actually pretty manageable.
Absolutely. Make it visual, all of the different ways. Like I've got a written calendar, a notebook, a Trello board, a Google Calendar. And I started with just one of those things because I went from, I am not disciplined. I am chaos. I am one of those innately analysis paralysis type of people. So when I know I have a lot of things to do, if it's not just clear, I'm like, all of it. I can't even fathom. Like getting off the couch. That is kind of like my actual nature innately, but not anymore. And I started small.
In order for it to be sustainable long term, you have to start small. So like Monday mornings, it's on my schedule. Talk about consistency. Monday mornings, no matter what, I'm writing 3 emails. That's it. It's on my schedule. I can't change it. I can change it, but I'm not fucking going to. I'm going to hold myself accountable and I'm going to stay consistent. Do I ever wake up on a Monday and say, I can't wait to write these emails? Sometimes. Not always, but sometimes if I feel like I really got something to say, but if I don't feel like I really have something to say, no, it's not the most fun, but it's a habit. I'm consistent. Tuesdays, like what's another way to hold yourself? Schedule it in. That's always a way to hold yourself accountable. So Tuesdays, I always play tennis. Guess what? I almost didn't play this week because I forgot to schedule it the week before.
Oh, that's what happened. I thought you were just like, I'm overwhelmed.
And then I got too lazy to call. not even lazy. I was just like, the last thing I'm going to be doing is making a phone call right now. And then I was like, Nikki, come on. But like when it's already scheduled in there, I'm doing it. Same thing with my therapy. Same thing with my workout. Same thing with my meditation. If it's on the books, you're way more likely to do it.
Without a doubt. I noticed that like I do time block really well for work now, right? I've gotten there for sure. And I'm like, wait, this applies. Like, I'm like, I'm just like, I'm not going to yoga as much as I want to, or I'm not doing breath work as much as I want to. And then I'm like, right, just literally go like sign up for the class and then you're going to go. Like
Work's going to fill in around it, but that's how you stay consistent.
Yeah.
That's why like I'm even like with so even with this, and think about your clients the same way. I need Botox no, I don't need. I want to get Botox done really bad. I should have pre-booked that shit. Because guess what? I really need it done, but I don't feel like picking up the phone. She would have to literally text me and be like, do you need your Botox done? And then I would be like, yes.
She'd have to do an authentic
follow-ups, baby.
Yeah. Because a lot of your clients probably need follow-ups. Like in the world of business, I'll say the more people that I talk to that are entrepreneurs, I say schedule blocking is pretty common. Others in the like just humans out there on earth, I would say at least 95% of people do zero schedule blocking for themselves. So your clients are probably in the abyss. Like they're trying to take care of their families and cook dinner and go to work and figure it out. They're probably, everyone's stressed, I feel like. We live in such a Western stress society. We're like, gotta go. I gotta literally pay for the groceries. Like, you know, like gotta do the things. But also,
that should be on your schedule.
Following up every day.
That should be on your schedule. Like even with our consulting clients, it's on my schedule. Like I will literally add now, like, don't forget to text this person in 3 weeks.
Me too. The fact that I don't remember, it's like, we can't hold all of that up there. You know, like I care about all the people and I don't even call my mom, our mom, if I don't like figure out a time to do that. And it's just because I'm like in it. I'm just in the day. And I'm like, oh, I misplaced every single human that exists outside of this moment, you know, even though I love them. If
I look at my schedule, everything is just to a minute, just blocked off. And it's great.
Same. It feels good.
And sometimes it doesn't.
Sometimes I look at it in the morning and I'm like, oh.
But this is just like, I'm like, but that's the whole point of this. Like, this is just my life. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just in a routine. Like, there's no guessing whether or not I'm going to do social media because it's on my schedule. Of course I'm going to do it. Like, I hold myself accountable to my schedule.
Think of every single, like, as you're starting off small, like the priority thing that you know will get you to your whys, right? Your big picture. Put it in as though it is an appointment that if you canceled, you'd be charged for. Start there. Just once a day or like 3 times a week for a longer time or once a day for like a 30-minute thing, time block. Just put it in. And if I don't show up to set an alarm on your freaking phone. If I don't show up to this content planning session, deduct money from your savings account and put it in like a curse jar. I don't know if you have to do that. Take a gold star off of your starboard, okay? If you don't do it. But imagine that you're going to be charged like a cancellation fee. We can make pretend. Why do we like grow out of that? Like imagination.
Grow out of what?
Like imagination.
Because life sucks. What do you mean?
I know, but like, let's bring it back. I'm trying to bring it back.
No, I literally, when I do breath work, my imagination is like amazing. And then when I do like go to Disney or something like that, or even Vegas, it's vibes for me. Like, I'm like, it's in the air. It brings out my inner child. And when I do breath work, I try to hang with my inner child a little bit too. It's in there. We just get bogged down by like the day to day.
Exactly. But like, how beautiful is it to watch your kids playing with their toys and like,
so cute.
You know, sometimes they're like just in their own world. Like they're actually the other day, Joe and I were at a restaurant and there was like a little kid flying his toy airplane through the sky. And Joe's like, you know, he's just like not here right now. Like he is on that airplane, like in his mind. And how beautiful is that? And I'm like, wow, what an insight.
Well, it's true. I look at my kids all the time when they're just like having fun. And I'm like, can you imagine? Like they're like the epitome of just living moment to moment. Mm-hmm. That's what it is.
Being present. Yeah.
Yeah. They haven't like experienced
The
life
lessons.
of life yet. And like, they're just exploring. They're like, they don't fully understand the world around them. So they're just exploring. And it's definitely fun to watch.
Maybe we tap into some more imagination then in our creation process of this stuff. Like,
Well, it's supposed to be fun. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that is a little like out there, obviously, on the days that when you don't feel like it, it's not an easy attainable shift. Right. But like, can you even just in the moment while you're doing the thing that you've put in your schedule to do I have to content plan. This is what I do. I'm going to have to pay a cancellation fee if I don't do it. Can you shift into what is one thing I feel inspired by on this like post that I'm going to make? I don't know, some sort of like being present with the thing that you're doing, because
what if you just have fun?
Yeah. Like, what if I just shift that? What if I just start like dancing while I do it and pretend? What will happen?
What if
then?
I'm just all here? Did you know that if you just like be great, I'm not saying like just be grateful, because that's
just
really
be
hard.
Grateful.
Just be fucking grateful, all right? Shut up. If you just kind of shift toward gratitude and actually like put a smile on your face, even when you don't feel like it kind of changes how you feel. Did you know that?
Yeah. Of course, our bodies and our brains communicate like all day, and we do have a choice. We have a choice on making a shift like that, even though it's difficult. No, but you know what? You said like, don't just shift into gratitude. So Carrie said the other day, like one thing every human always has in excess. Always. We can always give gratitude. You may not have time. You may not have excess of finances. You may not have excess of words. Sometimes I have no words, but you always can be thankful. You can always
shift into gratitude. Absolutely. Yep. And you know what? I needed that reminder myself that I could always do that. And I'm going to breathe for my solar plexus.
Next time you're about to panic text me, just say thank you before you go into it. I'm making it about myself. Say thank you to me. No, just you're one of the people who has taught me this thing where like you're going into a tough conversation or something, or like someone said something that you're like, and you're like, in your head, you're like, I love you, right? I love you. Thank you. And then deliver your message.
And I box breathe. Yeah. So yeah, consistency, basically showing up when you don't feel like it, creating habits little by little, get it in your schedule, just make it happen, make sure it aligns with your goals. And it's like when people look and say, look what you've done for yourself, like everything happened so fast. And I'm like, no, nothing happened fast. Like this is the result of years and years and years of being consistent, whether or not I felt like showing up or not. So that's the lesson to be learned there.
And secondary from Miss Mindset Girl over here is you can always shift your perspective in any moment. You literally, your brain is yours. That voice in your head, it's yours. So you can always build your self-awareness and resilience and shift your perspective in a moment, even when it feels hard.
Yep. That's right. Well, that's really all I got today. We're keeping it a little bit more short than we used to do for the sake of slicing the timing. And, it's just a busy day. It's a really busy day. We did a webinar this week. As always, we'll put our interview links if you want to do Slice Strands, if you want to do Service Evolution Academy, if you want to just talk more, we'll have the links for you to get on a call and we'll take it from there. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next week.
Leave us a review. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Slice Squad Spills. If you're enjoying the show, please subscribe, leave a rating and review on your favorite podcast platform. Your feedback is going to help us improve and attracts more listeners to the show. Please share with your fellow time slicers. And hey, if you're ready to optimize your time and double your income, we've got you covered.